I have been sent to guide the earth in judgment as written in Psalm 25 verse 9, that he shall guide the meek in judgment and teach them his ways. And when Jesus said that the Father judgeth no man in John 5:22, he further said that the Father has committed all judgment unto the sons, which was his reasons of saying, I judge no man, for I came not to judge the world, but to save the world, in John 12, verse 47. Jesus knew that his teachings shall certainly make us spiritual to a level we shall become perfect like him, and become sons like him, and also become the very sons who judges all things by themselves, as written in 1 Corinthians 2 verse 15, that those who are spiritual judges all things, while themselves are judged by no one. The sons has been permitted to trace and correct everything, while 1 Corinthians 6 2 to 3 made it clearer that we shall judge the whole world, including the spirits. But I want you to know that we are not judging them as to condemn them to be destroyed by the word, but to correct and bring them to the right track as to be justified and to remain blameless, which was his parables in Matthew 18:23 to 35, which made us to understand that the same way God forgave us, must we forgive everyone while handling any matter with them. And same way Jesus told his disciples that ye are already clean as a result of the word I have spoken in John 15 verse 3. That is how the messages of any teacher is expected to make all the hearers clean, including those that did not hear him due to one reason or the other. And that is the reason John 13 verse 15 said, I have given you an example that you should do as I have done to you, meaning that we should tell others that the word we have spoken has made them clean, just as he declared us righteous and never condemned us. Likewise must we declare all the spirits righteous, including everyone, because anyone who releases prisoners is also setting himself free, which is the reason Matthew 7 verse 1 said that the type of judgment we give is the type we shall have or receive. Mind you that lack of these things in the mouth of our previous teachers was the reason Jesus commanded the sheep not to listen to them, and also described their signs and wonders as dubious activity in John 10 verse 8. Because Jesus uses his signs and wonders to bring men closer to himself, as to be able to loose and remove their yokes and bondages of the law, while your Bible writers and the readers and your prophets and teachers uses their signs and wonders to bring you closer to themselves, as to be able to tie you back with the ropes and yokes and bondages of the law, as to see reasons to collect your valuables from you, which is the reason Jesus said, go not after them, in Luke 17:23. And that is the reason Jesus shall tell them, depart from me, ye that walk iniquity, as written in Matthew 7 verse 23. And the reason Micah 3 verse 5 to 7 has taken away their ability to perform signs and wonders, and also commanded shame to catch them in Micah 3 verse 1 to 4, is to stop the world of running after them, because Jesus knew that both the angels and the wisest men of the earth has not received the seal of sonship, which is the Spirit of truth, which qualifies one to know God's mind. And Jesus actually called us servants of men because we despised his teachings, which brought us as low as servants of men, and equally oppressed and tormented us, and has equally caused many to die in wretchedness, while many suffered to death, which is also the reason Psalm 116 verse 11 called all men liars, and that same lies that has been in our mouth has equally caused us to scatter all that Christ has gathered, as written in Matthew 12 verse 30, which says, "He that is not with me is against me, and he that is gathering not with me is scattering," meaning that exactly the same way Saul was busy scattering and slaughtering those that were with Christ, thinking that he was doing the work of God, was how strange men crept in and turned God's truth to lies. And when the word saw that the heart of men has departed from him, he then called us adulterers and adulteresses. He was not calling us that name because of the sex we were committing, but for departing from the truth to trust lies. And the reason the word said, "With men this is impossible, but with God nothing shall be impossible," in Matthew 19 verse 25 to 26, is because there is no how the lies of men which we adopted can bring or lead us to salvation, whereas salvation is possible or obtainable if we can unlearn those lies and pick up the truth, or return to his truth, which made us to know that God always give or do unmerited favor for us, and that everything God is doing for us or giving to us is a free gift. But men revised those statements and said that God should pay everyone according to their work, and likewise said that we should work harder to obtain any good thing from God. They equally said that the truth we know and fail to do it cannot set us free, and that the confession of our mouth without work can never yield any positive result. By so doing, men brought to nothing the power that he deposited inside us, because our power was not inside our actions, but in our heart or in our word. And positive things happens based on the level of our knowledge, not our actions, which is the reason he said, "All things is possible to him that believeth," while Job 5:27 commanded us to know this for our good, while Proverbs 18:21 said that life and death comes to us as a result of the word of our mouth, because word is a spirit and truth, and his truth is life, and he that have it shall not taste or see death, because better knowledges shall be springing out of him, as a proof that God lives inside him, and also enable him to overcome death, as written in Romans 8 verse 11. Because you have become like God, as written in Zechariah 12 verse 8.